Do you ever feel like you are working so hard, yet somehow not making real progress? The issue is not that you lack talent or opportunity or even time. The real issue is a lack of clarity around your true priorities. Now, you may say that you know your priorities, but the question is, are they really your priorities aligned with your true authentic self, or are they others' priorities expected of you? Please take a deep breath and slow down. I would like you to walk through the path of my own introspection so that it will help you to find your own priorities. Four pillars of life. Our life basically can be divided in four broad categories: personal growth, finances, families, and social life. To begin realignment, I started asking these questions to myself. How much of my time, energy, and attention was given to each of these areas of life? Was I living from a place of intention, or was just responding to the unlimited artificial demands created by this external world? Let me elaborate on it. True alignment begins when we started giving our time, energy, and attention to these four areas of our life with the awareness of the deepest desire of our heart, not trying to compete with others or not even trying to meet the standards set by the world, which always keep changing. But often we are so lost in the noise of the world that we hardly could recognize the voice and hankering of our own heart, what we are really looking for. What I did, I started taking out time each day, sitting in a quiet place and trying to write what I really wanted from each of these areas of my life. I was very much aware not to allow the negative voice inside me which says, "Oh, but that's not possible for you." Okay, at least I have the freedom to write it down. By the way, this faith was not without any basis, because spiritual text says that if you do something with proper intention, the universe will provide what you lack to happen the rest. I also made sure to write the reasons why I wanted things in a particular way, and I called that my wish list. Once I finished writing, I would read that every night and adjust whenever I was getting more and more clarity. And I also allowed myself to feel how a life with those wishes fulfilled would look like. And honestly, I couldn't wait to live such an exciting life. Next came the actions. In some areas, I knew what needed to be done. In some areas, I did not know. Some areas, self-discipline was required. And actions in some areas felt to be overwhelmed. I lacked confidence. And in some areas, I even felt undeserved. I started taking baby steps and also trying to accomplish the tasks which immediately I could do. Give you an example. Deep down in my heart, I always wanted a very loving, caring, understanding, supportive, respectful husband with whom life will be a memorable journey. But around me, I saw only fighting, complaining, and dissatisfied couple, with the conclusion that marriage life cannot be better than that. I was truly horrified and did not want the same for me. But when I started the process of writing down my wishes, I started getting ideas that I actually need to study what is the life of a happy couple look like, what are the expectations they have from each other, and how they behave with each other, how they stand by each other when difficult times come, and how they support each other, how they navigate the difficulties of life. In my research, I found what are the expectations I should have realistically and the work I need to do on myself. Few years later, I found my dream partner and have been living a very satisfying life. It may not look like what the Hollywood movies depict. So here is the thing, the process for the other three areas of life more or less is same. The lessons I learned are: number one, I need to keep learning about people or situation because with time they change, or in other words, they grow. I need to keep working on myself to improve as it is an ongoing process. The biggest mistake we all can repeat is to assume that we know something already. Things may not be as they appear in reality. We should be eager to test our values, beliefs, thoughts, and be ready to correct them if necessary. Now I would like you to invite to take these actions. Start writing about these 4 areas of life. What you want, even if you don't have any clarity, even if it is just one line. The key is to start. Write why you want what you want. Don't think about others, because everybody else is thinking what other cares. Be honest. Don't allow your fear or negativity shape your dreams, because those are illusory obstacles which exist only in our mind. Next, take the immediate action you can. Maybe it is educating yourself about the topic. When we educate ourselves, then fear vanquishes and we feel empowered. Daily doses of self-growth. Among all the areas of life, personal growth is the key, the most crucial one, because this is the only area where we have full control, and in return, this significantly affects the other 3 areas of life. Personal growth also can be divided in 4 dimensions: physical, mental, intellectual, and spiritual. I would like to break down this in steps so that I can show you how I started nurturing these 4 dimensions with some simple basic daily rituals. Let's talk about the physical aspect first. Our body is actually a highly sophisticated machine which also needs maintenance, just like any other machine. Food, exercise, sleep are its fuel. Now, there are plenty of information out there what to eat, what kind of exercise to do, how much to sleep. Those are all great, but the key is to find what best suits your physical aspect, because one size doesn't fit all. I was eating right, I was exercising, sleeping enough. I was quite sincere, but I was not getting the result I was expecting. Only when I went Ayurvedic treatment, I was informed that not all the good things are equally effective for each of us. For instance, adequate amount of carb, protein, fat, fiber, minerals, vitamin, water are essential for a good health. But which source to choose varies person to person. That is why different culture has different varieties of food sources. Also, there is a saying in English, one man's food is another man's poison. Now, you may have been going through some health issues like me which needs regular medical assistance, but still making the right choices to food, exercise and sleep will make sure that our quality of life increase. Here are some easy to do steps I would like to encourage you to take. Start your day with 15 minutes walk or light stretching or gentle movement. And if you are already doing that, a big congrats to you. Start adding one nourishing meal to your day. Focus on eating slowly whole organic food, not on restriction. Maintain a food diary and start writing at the end of each day, how did you feel when you ate something or drank something? Drink sufficient amount of water. 70% of our body is made of water. Try drinking at least half liter water in your empty stomach every morning. Also, if you are habituated with drinking water with milk, please avoid it. Ayurveda recommends to drink water at least half an hour before or after each meal for significant improvement in digestion. Try avoiding electronics at least half an hour before your bed. Ideally, you should eat your dinner at least 3 hours before you go to bed. Now, realistically, it may not be possible for you at this point of your life, but you can do one thing. You can eat at least 15 minutes before the usual time you eat your dinner. Like that, if you keep increasing 15 minutes week after week, you'll see eventually you can eat your dinner 3 hours before your bed. It will help your body to digest the food fully before you go to bed. It will help you to get deeper sleep. And in the morning, you can wake up without an alarm. After you wake up in the morning, don't look at your phone. Go out in the nature. If you spend some time in the nature, maybe you do your workout outside, it will give you enough groundedness, enough peace of mind, which will help you to deal with the stressful day of our life. And you will see that how peaceful you have been throughout the day. Only if you can give some opportunity to Mother Earth, it will help you to be like her, so calm and composed. Now do not worry to take all the steps I have discussed here. Pick up those which are most doable at this point of your life. One small step of consistency will make the foundation of energy and vitality for you, which will help you and encourage you to do more and more. Mental health. Our mind is a storehouse of millions of impressions we have gathered throughout our own life experiences, other people's life experiences, and external influences. It is like an algorithm which gives suggestion in the form of thoughts, but it is not necessarily the representation of our true inner essence. For instance, due to some past experiences, we may become very fearful in life and always focus on the negative self-talk and doubt our own ability and strength. In this case, the mind has been programmed in a wrong way, serving us as our own enemy. But if we allow ourselves to reprogram our mind consciously in a way that it will become our best friend, then it will set us for success. Researchers have found meditation, breathing exercises, journaling, these are few of the tools which can really help us to reprogram our mind so that we can become our best person. Recommended action for you. Start your day with 5-minute breathing exercise. Find a quiet place for you. Sit on a yoga mat, preferably cross-legged. Now close your eyes and deeply inhale for count 4. Hold your breath for count 4. Now exhale for count 6. Start for 5 minutes and gradually it can increase as you see the benefit of it. Start doing meditation. As a first step, I would like to encourage you to educate yourself about the unlimited benefits of doing meditation. If you take the right type of meditation, which is effective and efficient at this time and place, then it will help you to clean all the wrong impressions from your mind so that your mind can become a clean mirror which reflects the true inner self of yours. Start journaling. Not necessarily you have to write every day. If you can do that, it's great. But even if it is not possible, at least some time keep aside for yourself so that you can sit down and write about your thoughts, your fears, your aspirations, everything. When you write down these words on a piece of paper, it gives your mind enough clarity. And when you give your mind clarity, it can choose the right word which is going to help for your life. Also, once you find out which area needs some work, do not hesitate to seek help through therapy, retreat courses. Investing in your own mental health will go a long way. The intellectual aspect of our personality. Real intelligence is to know what really matters, to invest our attention in this life. If we know that question, 50% of our success is already achieved. We are not supposed to live just to satisfy sensual pleasure, which at the end leaves us drained, unfulfilled and empty. In this life, we have been given certain gifts so that we can live our purpose to serve others. Real service doesn't make us feel small, it makes us immensely powerful. We may go on serving if we are properly situated in our purpose. And that's what the real purpose of life itself is. You can take these steps to find your purpose today. Take note what you really like to do and feel drawn. That may not be something which the world has already recognized. Read, research, watch, talk to other people how they are using the same kind of likeness in serving others. Try to find a community where you can use your gifts to serve others. Try serving small, but without any gaining motivation. Remember, when you protect your purpose, it will protect you. Want some proof? If you are engaged in serving with your purpose, you'll find gradually you are not spending time mindlessly scrolling on the phone, looking at others' life and feeling you are less than them. You'll feel life has become very meaningful and also joyful. Spirituality. You are more than your body, your mind, or even your intelligence. You are in essence a spiritual being having a human experience. Hard to believe? Then why it is that we all long for a life without disease, distress and death? Not only that, we hanker for unlimited happiness. But our body, mind and intelligence will always bring something up so that we become distressed, we become anxious or fearful. Because the reason is that the nature of spiritual being is full of joy, clarity and liveliness. There is no limit of unlimited excitement, unlike any matter like our body, mind and intelligence. It is an energy which exists forever in one or other form. That is why spiritual texts compare the spiritual essence which we are truly to a bird trapped in a cage which consists of our physical body, mind and intelligence. In fact, not only human beings but all living entities are spiritual beings in essence. Like animal, birds, reptiles, trees, they are all spiritual beings. Just like the sun rays proves the presence of sun on the sky, similarly consciousness pervading throughout the body proves the presence of spiritual being in a body. Now, the spiritual being also has spiritual senses. But the nature of spirituality is just opposite to matter. So, the spiritual senses can be only nourished by the spiritual practices. Otherwise, just like if we take care only of the cage and does not feed the bird, eventually the bird will die. Similarly, if we don't nourish our spiritual senses, eventually we will feel lost, unfulfilled and empty. And that is what happening with us. In reality, our material well-being also follows spiritual well-being. You can start your spiritual journey with few simple steps. Take out some time alone where you can pray. Not necessarily you have to be a religious person to pray, but when you pray, you ask the universe to help. Be honest. Ask questions like who really you are, why you are suffering even though you don't desire. Start reading spiritual books, listening to spiritual discussion talks. Try meeting spiritual people. You may feel like you don't have access to these things. But believe me, when you start looking for these things, life will surprise you. And one by one, the doors will be opened for you. You just have to sincerely desire for it. These are the daily healing or growing practices or rituals. Now you might feel overwhelmed with all this information and say to yourself, but I can't do all this. That's okay. You don't have to do everything at once. Pick up those which are most realistically doable for you at this point of your life. Once you commit to small consistent steps, you will be able to see the impact it makes at your life. Then keep adding gradually as you go ahead, and you will be able to do eventually everything. And you will also find some may work for you or some other steps may not work for you, and that's all right. It is like taking care of the car when we take care of our physical, mental, and intellectual aspect. And taking care of the spiritual aspect is like taking care of the driver. And when a healthy driver has a well-functioned car, life can become a great experience. Please share in the comment what resonates most with you today. What action will you take? I deeply appreciate your time and attention with me today. Make sure to like and share and subscribe. I will see you in my next video with more wisdom about life so that you can live wholeheartedly. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.